Let me start with a simple, important question. When you wake up tomorrow and look at your bank account, will you immediately understand what you're seeing? Or will you feel that quiet pause of uncertainty, wondering if the number in front of you is right, wrong, or something you should be worried about? It's that moment of hesitation that so many seniors experience. That split second where you see a number and your mind starts racing. Is this correct? Did they make a mistake? Am I supposed to call someone? Did I miss something important? Should I be concerned tomorrow morning? Millions of bank accounts across America will receive Social Security deposits. For some people, those deposits may be as high as $2,400. And if you rely on Social Security, what you don't understand about this payment cycle can quietly affect your financial confidence, not just today, but over the coming months and even years. Because here's what happens. When we don't fully understand our benefits, we second-guess ourselves, we compare our situation to our neighbors, and feel like we did something wrong. We see headlines that don't quite match our reality and wonder if we're missing out on something. We lose sleep over numbers that might be perfectly normal for our specific circumstances. My name is Sarah, and for many years now, I've spent my time helping American seniors make sense of moments. Exactly like this moments when money arrives, headlines start flying, neighbors start talking, and suddenly, something that should feel reassuring starts to feel confusing. My goal has always been very simple: to slow things down, remove the noise, and help you clearly understand what's happening with your benefits. Without fear, without hype, and without complicated language that makes you feel like you need a law degree just to understand your own income. So let's take a calm breath together and walk through this carefully, step by step in plain language that respects your intelligence, while honoring the fact that Social Security's rules can be genuinely complex. First, I want to say something reassuring right away. Not everyone will see a deposit close to $2,400. And if you don't, that does not mean something is wrong. It does not mean you were skipped. And it does not mean you're missing out on something you were supposed to receive. This is crucial to understand because the internet and social media can create so much anxiety around these numbers. Someone posts that they got $2,400, and suddenly, thousands of people are wondering why their deposit was different. The comments fill up with confusion, frustration, and sometimes even anger, directed at a system that people feel isn't treating them fairly. But here's the truth: that number, that $24 figure, is not a bonus check. It is not a special giveaway, and it is not a guaranteed amount for everyone. It represents a possible combination of benefits that can vary widely, depending on your own situation, your work history, the age you claimed benefits, whether you received more than one type of support, and whether adjustments or corrections were applied during this payment cycle. Think of Social Security like a personalized calculation, not a universal payment. Your benefit is as unique as your fingerprint, because it's based on your specific lifetime of work, your specific claiming decisions, and your specific circumstances. Social Security is not random. It feels that way sometimes, especially when you're trying to make sense of different amounts or confusing timing, but it's not. It runs on a structured system, one that's built around rules that apply differently to different people based on very specific criteria. And when you don't know which rules apply to you, confusion can easily take over. It's like trying to understand a conversation when you've only heard half of it. You catch pieces, you fill in the blanks with assumptions, and those assumptions can lead to unnecessary worry. The system was designed decades ago with the intention of being fair and predictable, but what's fair and predictable to a government agency doesn't always feel that way. To someone just trying to understand their monthly income, the language is technical. The timing varies, the amounts differ, and very often, nobody takes the time to explain the why behind what you're seeing. That's what I'm here to do today. One of the biggest misunderstandings happens around timing. Many people assume Social Security pays everyone at the same time. It does not. This assumption causes more confusion than almost anything else. Because when your neighbor gets their payment on Wednesday and you don't get yours until the following week, it's natural to wonder if something went wrong. Payments are released in waves, on a schedule that has been in place for many years. It's not arbitrary. It's designed to spread out the massive volume of payments across the month so that the system can function smoothly and banks can process deposits without being overwhelmed all at once. For most retirees, your payment day depends on your birth date. This is how the system organizes millions of payments each month. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of the month, Your payment usually arrives on the second Wednesday. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment typically comes on the third Wednesday. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your deposit is scheduled for the fourth Wednesday. There is also a separate group of people who began receiving benefits before May of 1997. Those individuals are paid on the third of the month. Regardless of their birthday, this is often called the legacy schedule, and it applies to anyone who's been receiving benefits for a very long time before the current birthday-based system was fully implemented. So when you hear that deposits are arriving tomorrow, that does not automatically mean yours is arriving tomorrow. It simply means one of those scheduled payment waves is moving through the system. Someone else's payment day may not be your payment day, and that's perfectly normal. It's not a mistake, it's not a delay. It's just how the calendar works for your specific birth date. Understanding your own place on the calendar can remove a tremendous amount of stress. I often encourage seniors to write their payment week down somewhere. Simple, a small note on the refrigerator, a calendar reminder on your phone, even a card tucked into a drawer where you keep important papers. When you know your week, you don't have to guess. You don't have to refresh your bank account every morning, wondering if today is the day. You don't have to worry. When you hear that someone else already received their payment, you can look at the calendar and feel grounded in the knowledge that your payment will arrive. When it's scheduled to arrive, this simple act of knowing your schedule can transform anxiety into confidence. Now let's talk about amounts, because this is where emotions really come into play. This is where people start comparing themselves to others and feeling like they somehow ended up with less than they deserved. Social Security is not a one-size-fits-all payment. It never has been, and it was never designed to be. Two people can live on the same street, retire at similar ages, work for the same number of years, and still receive very different benefit amounts, and that's not a flaw in the system. That's the system working exactly as it was designed. Your payment is based on decades of earnings, not just your job title or how hard you worked, or how many years you put in, but specifically how much you earned in wages that were subject to Social Security taxes, and for how long you earned at those levels. If you had a career where your income increased steadily over time, that's reflected in your benefit. If you took time off to raise children or care for family members, that's reflected too. If you worked part-time for many years, or worked in jobs that paid lower wages, or entered the workforce later in life, all of that shapes your final benefit calculation. The age you claimed benefits also matters enormously. Some people claimed at 62 because they needed income right away due to job loss, health issues, or family obligations. Others were able to wait until their full retirement age, which for most people today is somewhere between 66 and 67, and some people delayed even further, waiting until 70, to maximize their monthly payment through delayed retirement credits. Those who delayed often receive larger monthly checks, sometimes significantly larger, because the system rewards waiting with an 8% increase per year for each year you delay past full retirement age. That doesn't make one choice better than the other. It simply reflects different life circumstances and different financial needs at different stages of life. Some people also see higher deposits because of cost of living adjustments layered on over many years. If you've been receiving benefits for a long time, you've received multiple COLA increases that compound over time. Someone who just started receiving benefits this year won't have those accumulated increases yet. Even if their base benefit calculation was similar, others may be receiving corrections. If Social Security identified an error in past calculations, sometimes records get updated, sometimes missing earnings are discovered and added back in, resulting in back payments that arrive as a lump sum or spread across several months. So if you see a deposit that looks larger than usual, it does not automatically mean something is wrong. It does not mean the government made a mistake and will come asking for it back. Very often it means the system is catching up to what you were already entitled to, paying you money that should have been yours all along. At the same time, seeing a smaller amount than someone else, even someone you know well, does not mean you failed or made a mistake or planned poorly. Many seniors had to claim early due to health conditions that made continued work impossible. Others lost jobs in their early 60s and couldn't find new employment. Some faced caregiving responsibilities that demanded their full attention. That is not poor planning. That is life. Your benefit reflects your personal journey. With all its unique challenges and circumstances, and it deserves respect regardless of the number. Another source of confusion comes from people who receive more than one type of benefit. This happens more often than people realize, and it can create deposits that look unusually large or confusing. Some seniors receive Social Security retirement benefits and also qualify for supplemental security income, often called SSI. These are two entirely different programs, administered by the same agency, but calculated differently, funded differently, and sometimes paid on different schedules. Social Security retirement is based on your work history,